What Jackson put together in the classroom is the kind of animation that today we'd only associate with a high-budget film. And so in a similar way that what used to require typesetting and very expensive tools to make a professional presentation, professional document, that we brought down into the hands of the average user with advanced word processing tools, now we'll be bringing these animation capabilities down to individual authors. And what this means is not only students, but teachers and anyone will be able to put together rich things. Inside Jackson's presentation, we saw lots of images that he'd pulled together off the network. And that's another key point about this digital world. Taking someone else's work and adding to it, picking the subset you want, blending it with another one, is very, very easy in this environment. And so for the first time, we'll see teachers sharing their ideas, reviewing to say which is the best, and then tuning it for the particular thing they're trying to do, and making it compelling in a way that will allow them to compete with the production values of TV that kids are exposed to so much of the time. Then moving to the ambulance, we had a collaboration going on here. In a sense, you can say this is the most mission-critical application, dealing with a health emergency. And so we had three different people: the nurse in the emergency room, the doctor who was on call, and the gentleman in the ambulance, all trying to decide what to do. And it wasn't just a video image that was being exchanged there. There was an immense amount of data being made available. For example, the nurse was getting advice on this type of problem. What steps should she go through? In fact, we drew that material from a CD-ROM title that's been published about the human body. We called up Jackson's phone number, we called up his medical records, and these people could have been anywhere. That doctor, for example, could have still been at home providing the advice and yet able to help out in this way. And so all kinds of business activity, whether it's designing a product, dealing with a customer problem, presenting a product opportunity, all of these can be handled very well with this kind of large screen display and the user interface that we're demonstrating here. Well, now let's go back and find out how Jackson's doing.
Next. Corner arrived at, call it 0800. Next. Area secured, yes. God, I hate paperwork.
Tell me about. Now what?
An attempted juvenile abduction, two perps, both Caucasian males, one 30-35, the other in his 50s.
I'll keep my eye out.
Driving a late 90s silver Olds Aurora.
Well, it's worth a shot. Come on.
Hey, dude, keep the change.
Let's go.
Honey, have something else to do.
I'm hungry, Mom. This is gross.
You know what I don't understand, Jackson? Why would you run from someone who's pointing a gun at you?
He was not pointing the gun at me.
Miss Ballard. Hi, I'm Becca McGowan, Seattle PD. This is my partner, Stu Ryan. We'd like to ask Jackson a couple questions.
If it's okay with him, you feel it?
Yeah, it's fine.
I know that you already told the other officer, but I need to know what happened.
Well, these two guys jumped out of their car.
A silver Olds?
Yeah, it was an old Aurora. And this one guy, he tried to grab me. So I ran. I mean, this guy had a gun.
You ever see either of them before?
No.
You told Officer Calsey that you thought maybe they were after your backpack. You mind if I...
Yeah.
So, what do you think they wanted with your backpack?
I have no idea.
You ever do drugs, Jackson?
No way.
Nothing?
I'll be a cop if you want.
It won't be necessary.
Oh. So where'd you get this?
Tell them.
May I help you?
Oh, hi. Becca McGowan, Stu Ryan, Seattle PD. You're the owner?
Yes.
We understand your store sells pre-Columbian art.
Yes. Reproduction.
Ah, well, we're working on a case that involves pre-Columbian art, and we need to get a little background. Quite frankly, we're out of our depth.
And you thought you'd pick my brain.
Yes.
Well, then, I guess you better come in.
Thank you.
We'll go up to my office. We'll just step, it's very dark.
It's a beautiful store.
Thank you.
How valuable are these things?
Everything I sell is a reproduction. Some of it's very expensive, but there's nothing that's valuable.
You mind if I record this?
Not at all.
Okay. Now, these pre-Columbian pieces, Mr. Blackwood, where are these made?
Well, most of mine are made in Peru.
In Peru.
Various suppliers. The workshops in Mexico are cheaper, but it shows. Now, what exactly are you investigating?
Smuggling. Illegal importation of antiquities.
That's the problem in this business. Most of the pre-Columbian things you find, fake. That's why I sell reproductions now much safer.
Do you have a list of suppliers that we could look at?
I'd be happy to. Shall I limit this to pre-Columbian?
Fine.
How many of these pieces do you sell in an average week?
That depends upon the week. The pre-Columbian works have been very slow lately.
Anything in the last couple of days?
Nothing that comes to mind, unfortunately.
You know what would be great? Perhaps you could give us a list of all of your transactions, say, for the last week?
I'd love to, but I have to protect my clientele. So I'm afraid that this is where I draw the line, my dear. Anything else? Other questions?
Just one. What kind of car do you drive, Mr. Blackwood?
A Ford Trapeze.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Sketches are in.
You slimy, lying little miserable sack of
Say, looks like you guys are really putting things together.
Hi, Bill. Well, we have something. It's just not enough.
Oh, I know that kid could pick him out of a lineup. This guy's way dirty.
So now you'll
Arrest him? For what? Misdemeanor assault, stolen property? It's not enough. I want to get him on something that sticks.
We'll see you later, Bill.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, several times here we've seen voice recognition play a role. When we're filling out the forms for the officer, when we're taking transcription here. And I do think this will become a really central way of interacting with the computer. The advances in performance that we've talked about, the advances in the software that certainly 100 companies or more are working on, as well as the kind of context we get by understanding natural language, by having applications explain their state and what's likely to be coming in and feed that back into the input system so it can pick the right words in this kind of environment. All of that will come together. So we'll see speech command capabilities, we'll see speech dictation capabilities, as well as, of course, the ability to store speech and play it back, which is very, very straightforward. Here we can actually see the words being recognized as they're being put together there. Now, speech won't totally replace the keyboard. We'll still have